Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Taveuni. We love Today FM in Taveuni. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selena, I'm from Taveuni Farmers. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, election awareness campaign gains momentum. Taveuni Dalo production and quality drops. And constitutional redress application struck out in Fiji Times case.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Preparation for the 2018 general elections is gaining momentum, and the election supervisor is calling on all registered voters to ensure they're well informed. Mohammed Saneem says the election information booklet that is being distributed will guide voters to the polls. Akosita Tale reports.
The Fijian Elections Office wants all registered voters to be equipped with information well before the polling day.
The election information handbook that we have prepared is designed to give you that amount of information, and I would like to urge every Fijian to try and obtain a copy of this handbook and go through it thoroughly so that you are an informed voter.
The 37-page booklet is a guide for voters to help them understand the electoral process. Saneem adds they are currently working on an audio recording of the election information booklet to assist a voter who is blind or has low vision.
We are also working on a sign language interpretation of the entire booklet, so this will also be available on our website for voters who would like to access those means of knowing the contents of the book. So the booklet on our website can also be enlarged significantly to allow a person to see it in bigger font.
The FAO distributed more than 15,000 booklets last week alone. The booklet contains information on how to register, the voting process, count of ballots, declaration of results, the allocation of seats, and the complaints mechanism. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Dalo farmers in Taveuni are concerned there will soon be no market for their produce. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports the quality and production of Dalo on the island has decreased.
For a couple of years now, the production of Ndalo on the island of Taveuni has dropped significantly. The overexploitation of the soil has resulted in the fertility level decreasing and subsequently affecting production.
The land has probably been utilized to the extreme. Land has to be given time to follow so that they can recover. There is natural process of recovery. Not only that, it's about the use of chemical fertilizers as well.
As the soil fertility drops, so does the price of Ndalo. Farmers are barely making ends meet.
At the moment, we see Dalo price is very low. At the moment, we're getting $120 kg Dalo, and which is not affordable to the farmers, but still we can survive. We can't do anything. I think government should look at in this market quickly.
The Ministry of Agriculture is implementing strategies to address the problem and bring back to par the quality of the soil on the island.
This is not a problem that can be fixed immediately, but it comes with good sustainable land management practices, which the farmers through the various farm organizations are trying to address. There is a group called Taveuni, and that group is currently working with the ministry and other stakeholders, SPC particularly, to address that depleting soil fertility.
The Agriculture Ministry is now placing more emphasis on Ndalo production in Moa. Fiji exports Ndalo mainly to New Zealand, Australia, the US and Hawaii. Eleanor Turangibu, FBC News.
The Suva High Court has struck out a notice of motion filed by letter writer Chosai Wangambatha, who made an application for constitutional redress. Wangambatha is charged with 1 count of sedition along with Fiji Times publisher Hank Arts, Fiji Times editor-in-chief Fred Wesley and Anare Ravula. Pranita Prakash reports.
It is alleged that Chosai Wangambatha wrote a letter to the Fiji Times, which was published in the Itoke publication Nailalakai, with antagonistic comments against Muslims. Wangambatha had sought constitutional redress on the grounds that his written words does not constitute hate speech and is within the provisions of the Constitution. His application also stated that the charge of sedition against him is in breach of the Constitution. However, this afternoon, the High Court judge ruled that the application for the constitutional redress is an abuse of process of court. The judge also said that Wangambada has not specifically stated how his rights had been contravened or likely to be contravened. The judge struck out the application and has ordered Wangambada to pay $1,000 as cost. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The police will be taking action against those students who vandalize buses. Acting Chief Operations Officer ACP Martino Ngiolevu says there have been reports of buses being damaged during the recent zone meet. Kelly Vadala reports.
With a lot of sporting competition coming up for the schools, the police force will take a proactive approach to ensure last weekend's incident is not repeated.
You know, the destroying of seats or even breaking of windows and glasses, okay, it's an offense. Okay, and we will investigate and take action if it is reported to the police. And I believe that children should be responsible and also should be addressed by the parents and also the schools concerned.
ACP Ngiolevu says officers cannot monitor every situation on buses and is urging students to be more responsible.
We cannot afford to have any policeman to be in the bus, in all the buses. We cannot do that. But you know, our eyes and ears are the parents, are the teachers, okay, and the bus drivers themselves. I'm just urging the children themselves to please act responsibly in the buses.
Many Fijians say students who continue to vandalize buses should be told to pay for the damage.
Hopefully the police and the LTA are supposed to work together and penalize something regarding this type of students.
Students who vandalize buses should be taken to police stations and questioned why they do it and be asked to pay for the damages.
I think we students should not damage our bus property.
Police is advising students to also take road safety seriously when using public transportation and to think about others before committing such offence. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
2 police officers were allegedly assaulted in 2 separate incidents over the weekend. Chief Intelligence and Investigation ACP Vakavengu Tonduandua says an officer was assaulted in Nandi while the second officer was assaulted in Suva. ACP Tonduandua says one incident occurred at the Tutongo police station while an officer was serving a meal to a suspect inside his cell block. ACP Tonduandua has strongly condemned this, adding assault on police officers is a huge concern.
Our officers we are now being assaulted right in our police premises, police stations. So that is a concern to us. And I think we are working on how we are going to address this issue.
Still to come, public submissions call for registration of sex offenders bill. And member countries meet to develop sound statistical systems. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera Dotel taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kuminasong butikola ang Dotel taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya sila Dotel, nagurara may naomani, nandunga. Gitu Dotel taki yang gitu Venezuela nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
The local government ministry today signed an agreement with 3 consulting companies who will map out an engineering plan for informal settlements in Lautoka, Lambasa and Sokoda outside Suva. Savara Tambor reports this will benefit almost 10,000 settlers in these locations where infrastructure development will be carried out.
Local Government Minister Praveen Kumar says after the completion of the engineering plan, civil contractors will handle further development.
To congratulate the consultants, they will come up with the engineering plan which will include roads, water, electricity, everything, you name it. And after that, we will go for the actual civil works.
Kumar says they will work without shifting the residents. The properties are to be surveyed and the boundaries pegged, then the legal leases issued. Wood and Jepson Consultant Director Rod Jepson says the detailed engineering plan comes first.
Then we will survey
all the lots and peg the boundaries and then prepare survey plans. It'll be examined and approved by Lands Department.
The government has set aside more than $330,000 for the initiative. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights has called for submissions on the registration of the Sex Offenders Bill. The committee has been tasked to scrutinise and make necessary amendments to the bill before compiling a report for Parliament. The committee has invited the public and key stakeholders wishing to express their views on the bill to lodge written submissions through emails and correspondence addressed to the chair. Oral submissions are expected to be accommodated from next week, and people will be allocated 15 minutes for their presentation with 5 minutes for questions. The bill provides for the establishment of a register of sex offenders and the registration and reporting obligations of sex offenders. At least 90 participants from 30 countries are currently attending the Asia and the Pacific Commission on Agricultural Statistics Conference in Nandi. Discussions are centered around the importance of having an agricultural data and the need to improve the statistics system. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Agriculture plays a vital role in the development of many Asia-Pacific countries and is the main source of livelihood for majority of population, particularly in rural areas.
In the Asia-Pacific region, gaps exist in agriculture data at national and at regional levels. However, the data situation for agriculture has eroded in recent decades to the point where many countries lack the capacity to produce and report even the minimum set of data to monitor national trends and to guide the international development debate.
Urgent action is also needed to improve agricultural statistical system to monitor the sustainable development.
In the Pacific, around 3/4 of the population live in the rural areas and depend on agriculture and fisheries for survival. They are also vulnerable to the long-term impacts of climate change.
I'm proud to highlight that this is one of the biggest UPCAS meetings of recent times. We have 3 new member countries present here today, as well as more observers since the last UPCAS meeting was held.
A Pacific strategic plan for agricultural and fishery statistics will also be launched later this week. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The development partnership of Fiji and India continues to grow. Last week, Prime Minister and COP23 President Vurenge Bainimarama held yet another bilateral meeting with Indian PM Narendra Modi to discuss a number of areas of cooperation. Bainimarama met with Modi on the fringes of the inaugural conference of the International Solar Alliance held in New Delhi. Permanent Secretary in the PM's office, Yogesh Karan, said Bainimarama discussed a number of areas where India can assist Fiji.
One was pharmaceutical. Once again, we renewed our proposal that to invite top manufacturer to come to Fiji and invest here on pharmaceuticals. As you know, that Fiji imports a lot of drugs from India through agents, but we would like to see that happen here. Another one, of course, is renewable energy that we announced, and Prime Minister Modi said that India has so much of expertise.
In sports later on with Jamie, Fijian players shine in French top 14, but here's Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Copra products to be diversified for income generation. And in Growing Fiji, rainwater harvesting project nears completion in Tailevu village. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranavika au tikongona taunu singa toka ando talitaka na wakaronga na Bula FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Ibora ni batukara hambara binaranga. Do talitaki na wakaronga na Bula FM number 2 na serre. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
In business tonight, the Copra Millers of Fiji is looking at ways to diversify copra products. Chair Raj Sharma says this is aimed to increase productivity that will help lift the standards of the copra industry. Catherine Krishna reports.
The copra millers will further refine the crude oil to make other oils that will help generate income for the industry.
Then direct process we are looking at is a total edible oil that we will produce. This is one of the finest virgin coconut oil. Through the cold process that we are looking at, we are also looking at through the hot process to do that.
Raj Sharma says these products will be sold locally and later they will try making deals with other countries.
We are targeting pharmacies, we are targeting the resorts as well as airports, and plus the retail chain of stores and supermarkets.
Meanwhile, Australian consultant to the food industry, Lawrence Ives, says he is impressed with the quality of our coconut oil.
When you look at making skincare and food products, one normally uses fully refined coconut oil. This takes all the colour out and all the smell and all the impurities. However, consumers around the world are looking for unprocessed natural food. So this oil is probably one of the best virgin coconut oils that I have ever seen.
There are around 260 copra farmers in the country and they solely rely on the industry for their livelihood. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
And we now join Rocco with the latest from the financial market.
Thank you. Let's review the action on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. Fiji Television, Vision Investments and Fijian Holdings were the three stocks traded. Fijian Holdings Limited was the most active stock in trades and volume traded. Fiji TV shares recorded growth of 0.5% to end the week at $2.16. On the back of Fiji TV share price gain, the overall market capitalization increased by 0.01% and concluded the week at a value of $2.03 billion. Similarly, the South Pacific Stock Exchange Total Return Index posted a gain of 0.01%, ending the week at a value of 5,073.44. And that's the wrap from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Thanks, Rocco. Looking at today's currency exchange rates this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar was on the rise against our major trading partners, Australia and New Zealand, and slipped slightly against the others. Taking a look at the commodities market, oil prices was up slightly to close at 62.16 a barrel. Gold was down to close at 1,313 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at 16.29 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, 27 households living along the seaside village of Matamaivere in Namaratailevu are working alongside the Water Authority employees to complete their rainwater harvesting project. 20 houses will benefit from this project as the remainder already have their water tanks in place. Tank stands are being built together with the installation of guttering, downpipes and associated fitting. Guttering has also been installed on the village church roof, where the villagers plan to install a 10,000-litre water tank. Matamaivere is one of the villages earmarked for this year's rural water scheme budget. And that's business this evening. Here's Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. World Rugby launches Pacific Island Combined Program. And Roy Krishna ready to guide national team. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम is number 1. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम is hot. I love मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन टोटो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम, it's hot.
World Rugby has taken another step to develop young talent in the Pacific region. 10 players each from Samoa, Tonga and Fiji who took part in the World Rugby Pacific Challenge have been selected to train under the Pacific Islands Combined Program. Luciana Tangedakimba reports.
The World Rugby, in partnership with the Fiji Rugby Union and the Pacific Rugby Players Association, have set up a Pacific Islands combined program to prepare young players for semi-professional level.
As we can see the skills that they have in each of the areas of the game. So for instance, there's games on counter-attack, there's games on spatial awareness, there's games on contact control. And then from those games, we can see what the player has and then they can canvass their skills, and then teams from Australia, New Zealand.
World Rugby's Scott Weissman says players will only be secured with contracts based on their performance.
It's 6 contracts that can be won, and obviously that depends on the quality. So it's you know, anywhere between say 3 and 6 players might win contracts.
Fiji Rugby Chief Executive John O'Connor says having this program has provided opportunity to players to play overseas.
We have players who have been kept reselected into the combined week and be given the opportunity to further their rugby careers.
30 players from Fiji, Tonga and Samoa are currently in camp and will undergo intensive training for the next few days. Luciana Tangedakimba, FBC Sports.
The Police Rugby Club is on a mission to end its 19-year drought at the Fiji Better Maris Sevens tournament. The Nassau-based club, who last won the title in 1999, will be fielding 2 teams in a bid to win the 42nd edition of the tournament this weekend. Meli Tabanga reports.
19 years without a Maris Sevens title, winning is something the police side has been missing for a while.
This year is our year to win the Maris Sevens, and also the year for us to win the big tournament in Fiji for it's a Maris 7. We've been talking each other since last week, this week, or by fluke or by crook, we have to win this tournament.
Despite being the defending Coral Coast Sevens and Waka Sevens champions earlier this year, the police know it is a different ball altogether at the Maris tournament.
Our preparation have been going up to another level. We know that all the big teams in Fiji now want to defeat us, so we've been training hard.
Experienced and former Fiji Sevens rep Kitione Talinga and other familiar faces like Libai Ikinikonda, Mitieli Natangilevu and Saki Orelo are in the training squad. However, they will need to show their worth to be in the final squad.
We treat everybody the same when they come to camp, so there's no one special. And everybody has to put their hands up if they want to play for one of the teams.
35 players are currently battling for the 30 spots available. Unfortunately, 5 will be dropped out on Wednesday when the final squad of both the teams are announced. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
Fiji-born Tangele Naiyaravoro scored twice as the Waratahs came from behind to end the Rebels' winning streak with a dominant 51-27 victory in Super Rugby. This was the Waratahs' second win from 4 games this season. Meanwhile, Fijian players were in fine form over the weekend for their respective clubs in the French Top 14 competition. While some added to the winning margin, others weren't so lucky despite finding the try line. Meli Tavanga has more.
Fijian's giant winger Nemani Nandolo was at his best, scoring a try for Montpellier against Toulouse. The French top 14 leader beat Toulouse by 22 points to 14.
Joe Takori, Joe Tamani, can he get through the gap? Here's Nadolo scoring his try number 15 for the Fijian from close range.
Pedeliato was also unstoppable for the Clermont as he also contributed to the 38-14 win over Pau. La Rochelle's Levani Botia was too powerful for his opponents. Apisai Nangalevo of Bordeaux Beglers ran over for a try in the side's 15-10 win over Agen. Meanwhile, Benito Masilevo and Domenico Wanganimburotu's tries were not enough as Braves lost to Casters by 37-28. Nonetheless, Montpellier leads the French top 14 table with 69 points, followed by Leone Nakarawa's Racing 92 with 62. Melita Wanga, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji football team flew out today for its one-match test against the Philippines. Star striker Roy Krishna says while they respect their better-ranked opponents, he believes the national side has what it takes to upset them on Thursday. Vasnil Prasad reports.
Wellington Phoenix striker Roy Krishna is ready to help the national team secure victory over the 123rd ranked Philippines.
I'll guide as much as I can and get the knowledge from my professional side and guide these brothers and hopefully can do good in this trip.
Krishna says the match in Manila will be a tough one, but they are not counting their options out.
You can see a few of the boys are pretty tall, so I think we're going to go on a set piece and look for these corners and free kicks. But you know, we won't take anything away from them. They are a good side and that's why they are above us.
Coach Christophe Gamel says he has a fair idea on what the Philippines will be like during the lone friendly international match.
We very focused the first 20 minutes to resist to this pressure, to the pressure that they put when they play on at their home, because they play also on artificial turf.
The players are confident if they do the tactics right, a win over a better-ranked team is possible. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Newcastle Knights' inspiring revival continued when they upset the Canberra Raiders 30-28 in the NRL yesterday. Manly has pronounced itself as a premiership force this season with a historic 54-0 thrashing of arch-rivals the Parramatta Eels. Vodafone Fiji Mbati rep Apisai Koroisao scored a try for Manly in the win over fellow Mbati reps Jared Hayne and Kane Evans yesterday. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, check out the Nigerian entrepreneur that's making bags and clothes out of plastic waste. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera Dotel taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola Dotel taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila Dotel, nagurara may naomani, nandunga. Gitu tele tegi yang gitu beneswale nangundurong. Varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In New Media Tonight, let's take a look at the best and worst things of the newly launched Galaxy S9. And it's weather time now with Akosita.
Good evening. The current stretch of fine weather continued today with the exception of a few showers in the north. And taking a look in the west for today, all beautifully sunny with high humidity level and wonderful beach conditions. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, a sunny, humid day as well with 1 or 2 very light showers and perhaps more tonight. And up north, Lambasa was the hottest in the country today and got some scattered showers. At sea, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate swells. And for the tides, high tide will be at 8:04 tonight with low tide at 2:14 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:10. And for tomorrow, expect fine weather, some clouds in the morning followed by a chance of showers in the afternoon, perhaps a thunderstorm. Tomorrow's temperatures, all centers will be in the lower 30-degree range. And looking further on to Wednesday, a fine day with the usual chance of light showers in the east. And that's all from the FBC Weather World, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Akosita. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should students be penalised for misbehaving in buses?
Yes, students who vandalize buses should be penalized because it's public property, we use it.
I think police and LTA should penalize students.
Yes, what I think they should respect the bus. They have to go with the flow.
Yeah, they should get punishment for not behaving in the buses. So that's not their buses. There's a company buses, so they have to get penalized for that.
Recapping the main stories, election awareness campaign gains momentum, Taveuni production and quality drops, and constitutional redress application struck out in Fiji Times case. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, should more police posts be set up around the country to counter criminal activities? 89% said yes. This week we are asking, can schools play a role in reducing students' bus vandalism? Visit our FBC website to answer. And before we go, our shot of the day, evening highlights in Lautoka, sent in by Brittany Verma. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Wrong on the radio Fiji 1 and the Moiviti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk tali tak na radio Fiji 1 kena domili.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tali. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandunga. Gitu tali tagiri ang gitu pinasabali pag nagundurong. Barong na radio Fiji 1 nandumibiti.
Na radio Fiji 1 nandumibiti na bonga ni BNN.